Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Saturday night at 8 on KFTY, television north of the gate.
The events you're about to see and hear are true. Real cops, real cases, real criminals. Stories told by the cops who lived them and will remember them the rest of their lives. Top Cops.
November is harvest time in Mexico for marijuana, which means that it's a very busy time for those of us who work for the U.S. Border Patrol in Arizona. On Friday, November 14th, 1988, I was working the 4 to midnight shift. Because it was narcotics season, this was a special shift to cover midnight traffic on I-10, a big drug smuggling route where loads of marijuana from Mexico are routinely shuttled to Tucson. We had already confiscated 3,000 pounds so far that November, but we knew there was a lot more to come. Marijuana smugglers use a number of methods to ship their cargo from border points to their distribution centers in the city. Most of the methods involve accomplices or mules who don't know who they are working for, but are paid simply to transport the load from one place to another. They would be accompanied by another man they'd never met, driving a nearly identical truck which would run interference for them if law enforcement showed up. Antonio Delfino and Esteban Barrosa were each to be paid $1,000 to bring 1,907 pounds of marijuana into Tucson. Part of the law enforcement presence that would be looking for them was myself and my partner.
Hola, Brenna. Hola, Diana. You ready to go? Sure. Anything special today?
Oh, not yet. I'm sure there will be. Intelligence says we got a couple of big loads come up tonight, maybe up to a ton.
Deanna was a trainee who'd been on the job for about a year, and part of my job was giving her pointers. Border Patrol training is very strenuous. Our trainee agents even have to pass tests while they are working. If they don't continue.
How do you know which vehicles to stop?
Calling in plates is best. Anything unusual should be checked out. You know, if somebody's way out of their locale or a vehicle's changed hands recently. Sometimes you can tell just by the way the driver acts. You know, is he nervous when we pull up next to him? Is his car part of a caravan, one backing up the other? Does his driving change once he spots you? That guy looks okay, but run his plate anyway.
144 plate number.
Go ahead, 144.
Arizona plate, CPL 460.
I wanted Deanna to understand why we were going after some vehicles and letting others go. This particular van was okay.
But if you had to count on one thing to make somebody, what would it be?
Sitting on the shoulder or the medium where I can see their faces. I love that oh no look when they spot you.
Think we'll catch anybody tonight?
Don't worry, it won't be long before we get some action. Those look interesting. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look.
Of observations that make you think a vehicle is carrying drugs. One of the most indicative is the driver suddenly becoming erratic when they realize we're after them.
¿Por qué lo pasaste? ¿Algo mal? La policía viene atrás.
See that move when we first pulled in behind him?
What, passing the other van?
Yeah, something isn't right. Get on the radio and run his plate.
144, we need ID on plate numbers.
Go ahead, 144.
2 numbers. First is Arizona BL4316. Second, also Arizona NC8743.
While Deanna called in the plate numbers, I pulled closer to the trailing van, which had slowed to about 30 miles an hour in a 65-mile-an-hour zone.
The team's got a minimum speed of 45. I think this guy's trying intentionally to slow us down.
We can only stop one of them. Which should it be?
Let's stop this guy. Let the other one go for now.
But if he's trying to slow us down...
Yeah, well, let's make sure that's what he's doing. Get Clyde on the radio. See if he can pick up the other one.
Clyde Benzenhofer, our supervisor, was in another cruiser about 20 miles away at our offices in Tucson.
144 to 101, come in, please.
101, come in 144.
101, we're northbound on I-10 following a suspicious white GM van and letting another one go. It is white with the word Zenith on the side in red letters. Arizona plate NC8743.
Right, I'll be on the lookout for it.
Plate on the marked van came back clean. A subsequent call determined that the registration on the one we were behind was to a Hispanic male out of Phoenix. It had expired 2 years ago. That told us immediately that something was wrong. No legitimate businessman left his license expired for 2 years.
Deanna, cover the passenger side. U.S. Border Patrol, sir. May I ask your citizenship? And I'd like to see some identification, please.
I don't have to show you anything. What'd you stop me for?
Did you open the back of the van for me?
No. You got no reason to go looking.
Sir, if you'll just cooperate and let us look inside, we can all be on our way.
You want to look in my van, get yourself a search warrant. I know my rights, lady.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Have a nice evening.
It was becoming obvious that he was just stalling us so the other truck could get away.
How is this going, right?
Yeah, no sense even messing with him. That tells you if they're moving anything, it's got to be in the other van. Okay, get on the radio. Give them the ID of the decoy back there. Then keep updating them on our location. Give them mile markers and every exit we pass that the cargo could have taken.
Drug traffickers know that law enforcement agencies can only dedicate so many officers and vehicles to stopping their cargoes. Each time an officer can be delayed or forced to search for a suspect vehicle, the traffickers' chances of successfully delivering their drugs are increased. The sad facts are that if the majority of drug shipments weren't getting through, the traffickers wouldn't continue to bring them in. I knew we had to catch up to the van before the highway narrowed down to one lane at a construction zone just outside Tucson. There are just too many exits there he could take, and we could lose him in city traffic.
Brenna, there it is, just ahead.
¡Carajo, maldita sea! Un segundo de cumplimiento todo el día. ¡Abajo! Dijeron que iba a ser fácil. Yo me quiero ir a la cárcel. Tenemos que salir por aquí.
We're turning down Valencia. Let's get some backup over here.
Arizona plate NC8743. Off I-10 onto Valencia. We need backup.
Ahora sí que vamos a parar en la cárcel. ¡Lo sabía! ¡Cállate! ¡Déjame pensar! ¡Mira! ¡Un semáforo en rojo!
When the van first stopped, I figured he was not going any further, so I opened the door to get out.
¡Antonio, qué estás haciendo! ¡Perdiéndolo!
An off-duty deputy who was passing by stopped to help.
Sheriff's deputy! Need some help here?
Here, you keep an eye on this one. I'll go help a partner.
All right.
We had just finished cuffing Barrosa, who was no problem at all, when Clyde Bensenhofer arrived on the scene.
You okay, Deanna?
Yeah, I got him.
See what's inside. Well, now, what have we here? Usted tiene derecho a permanecer en silencio. Lo que diga puede ser usado en tu contra. Usted tiene derecho a un abogado. Si no tiene un abogado, no puede buscarle a uno.
The truck contained 1,907 pounds of marijuana, which had a street value of over $1.5 million. Barrosa was more cooperative than Delfino, but they both admitted to being paid $1,000 to deliver the marijuana to an unknown location in Tucson. They were supposed to connect with somebody at Valencia Road, but of course we got them first.
When we return, Sheriff Jim McKinney tries to rescue an abducted woman.
Top Cops is brought to you in part by the makers of Dimetap. Doctors recommend Dimetap for their families and yours. Maxwell House Cappuccino.
Now, Sheriff Jim McKinney and the Columbus abductor.
As a police officer, you don't always have time to figure out why people do what they do. You often don't know the motives behind the things you see happen on the streets. But your job is to save lives and protect people. And when you're under pressure, all you can do is trust your reflexes. This part of the story we only found out later. Lloyd Putney, a convicted felon who knew his way around inside of every jail, had been eyeballing one of his female neighbors for some time.
So you come back here.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Thank you.
Oops, eh?
Thank you very much.
No problem, anytime.
It's okay, I've got him.
Anytime at all.
In Putney's twisted mind, a relationship had now been established. A few days later, he was on her doorstep.
Hi.
Hello.
Why don't we just skip the preliminaries, huh? Like, why not just come over to my place for a visit tonight?
No, I'm sorry. I'm really not interested, okay?
At that moment, something snapped. Putney was a ticking time bomb in need of a victim.
Oh, Kathy, there's a house on Beam Road I want you to look at. The people are moving to Ohio and they want to sell it fast.
I'm on my way to measure it, so the listing will be ready when I meet them.
Great. The keys are at
Peter's Plumbing, 2925 25th Street.
Always 2 steps ahead. That's why I hired you, Kathy. See you later.
See ya.
I'd booked a vacation day, but I was really taking my son and nephew to visit the law enforcement building. When you're the sheriff, it's a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week, 365-day-a-year job. My special deputy, Gene Engelking, had come along for the ride. It was a hot summer Thursday. Nearby, Lloyd Putney's obsession finally got the better of him.
Sure some beautiful house here.
Sorry. What did you say?
The house. It's very beautiful. I'm definitely interested. Can I have a look around?
Oh, sure. Of course. It's quite large, as you can see. There's a family room downstairs.
How much do they want for it?
To tell you the truth, I really don't know yet. We're just about to list it. Are you from the plumbing company?
No, I just, somebody told me. How many bedrooms they got?
4.
Great. Let's go see them.
I think maybe it might be better if we make an appointment after they've signed the listing. I can give you my card. You can call me.
No, just let's check out the bedrooms now, and I'll just make them an offer straight out. Where are they anyway? Upstairs?
Yes, upstairs.
Your mouth shut her up, I'll kill you.
No, please.
You boys do those belts up tight.
First thing we had to do was anticipate the route of the pickup truck. I knew that there were other units converging. but I had a sense he'd run into me first. My son and my nephew stayed in the back seat the whole time. Having them along wasn't all that unusual. My son's a sheriff's kid, and he's been there.
What's wrong with that guy? Is he looped or what? Look, it's there. Oh my God.
What keyed in my mind was, if he makes the intersection and starts heading south, she's a dead woman. With cops in pursuit, he's going to accelerate and let go of her. And there's no way she'll be able to avoid getting sucked under those wheels.
You kids got those belts done up?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Well, hang on tight. Get ready, Gene.
It was one of those split-second decisions. I had to stop him right then and there. I was definitely concerned about Gene and the boys. I knew we could all be hurt. But I also knew the woman was close to dying. I had no choice but to make her the priority. Knocked us about 4 feet from the skid marks. Jeannie King was already set to jump out and put his gun on Putney. The door slammed back into him, injuring him slightly. I had to get in a position where he couldn't use his gun, and I could take him before he rammed the cruiser again. Officer Rudy Oliva was the first uniform on the scene, and he immediately helped me get the suspect out of the truck.
Get him out of here.
Come on out. You okay?
So much for a nice, quiet afternoon drive.
Matthew, Brian, you boys all right?
Yeah, nice piece of driving, Dad. You think you can teach me how to do that when I get my license? Dad! Dad!
Kids were shaken up, but they came out none the worse for wear. The woman was rushed to the hospital. It was a horrible ordeal she'd been through, but she had great spirits and pulled through just fine. I know you could question my methods, stopping the truck that way, and the serious risks that were involved. But in a split-second situation, you do what you have to do. And I'm absolutely certain that what I did saved the woman's life.
Top Cops returns in a moment with the aftermath of these stories.
Here's a Top Cop safety tip. Walking on the highway or hitchhiking is extremely dangerous. You could be hit by a car, or someone could force you into their vehicle. Only accept help or a ride.
1996 Chevy Monte Carlo featuring a 215 horsepower 3.4-liter V6, a finely tuned suspension, and a quiet, roomy interior, provided by Chevrolet.
Mighty Mite, lightweight power for carpets, bare floors, car, workshop. Now priced to move. Mighty Mite, only from Eureka.
Instalight the night with Armatron's Instalight Night Vision Collection. Sizes and styles for men and women featuring superb Armatron quality and outstanding value. Look for Armatron at America's top retailers across the country.
Antonio Delfino, Esteban Barrosa were both found guilty of transporting a controlled substance with an intent to distribute. Each was sentenced to 5 years in prison. The decoy driver accomplice was never captured. Brenna Neinast is still serving as a Border Patrol agent working out of Tucson. Lloyd Putney pled guilty and received a 20-year prison sentence. Kathy Carr recovered and calls Jim McKinney her hero, crediting him with saving her life. Sheriff Jim McKinney was named Police Officer of the Year, becoming the only sheriff in Columbus history to be elected to 3 terms. Today, he runs an international security consultant firm.